Hey guys, in this video I'm going to talk a little bit about why sometimes it's good to slow down. So I'm Daniel Norton, photographer here in New York. I make videos like this about philosophy, about technique, about gear sometimes. Go ahead and subscribe and ring the bell and you'll get all the notifications if you're interested in that kind of stuff. In any case, this comes from the fact that I was just at the big box hardware store, as they say, right? We're not supposed to say names. I don't know why that is, but I feel like on TV shows they never do that. We'll figure that out. But anyways, and, you know, all this stuff is going on with social distancing, of course. And, you know, most of these places, including this place, had, you know, these spots on the ground where people have to stand. They had fewer, you know, cashiers open. And as each person went through, because they had like the automatic, you know, where you do it yourself, cashiers, you know, somebody would do their thing and then they'd walk away. And then the person who worked at the store, the attendant, or whatever you want to call them, would come up with cleaner, and they were cleaning everything to make sure everything was cool, which is nice. You know, that's good, I guess. It makes me think, well, that means all the time before everybody was touching all this stuff without that. It makes us really start to think about these things, which is interesting, right? Which is what I'm about to talk about. So, what I thought was interesting about the whole thing was, at one point, this, you know, we're like there, and I'm getting mine, and there was no bags, and I guess they're doing that because, you know, bags spread, blah blah. And plus, I didn't need bags anyways. I never get bags when I go to that kind of store because I'm getting big things anyways. So I did the thing, bag yourself, but whenever you do that, somebody has to swipe their card to make sure you're not stealing stuff. I guess that's what they did. So I finished, and then my thing started flashing, waiting for the lady. But the woman next to me with her family, they were getting something. You know, they went. Of course, they went through the pet peeve here. They went through the do-it-yourself line with stuff that you can't just scan. They had like bricks or something. So of course they asked the attendant, who then had to go get a book and whatever, and she was gone. And I mean, I swear, she could not have been gone more than about 90 seconds. And this woman was pacing back and forth and anxious. Where's the woman? Where's the woman? Where's the woman? And I thought to myself, you know what? This is really interesting because I feel like this is the normal way that many people are. And at least for me, this new kind of way that we're having to deal with things, this, you know, the spacing and a few things taking longer, is really been opening my eyes a lot to the idea of all this kind of downtime. So one thing that I've been doing, because, you know, your phone is something that you're constantly touching and then putting it to your face, what I do, don't rob me now, you know this, is, you know, when I go driving, I put my phone in my car, and then when I go into stores and stuff, I don't take it with me, because I don't need to have it with me, and that way I'm not tempted to, you know, touch things and touch my phone and have to worry about cleaning it. And so I just leave it in the car, you know, whatever. And it's so interesting because now when I stop and I'm waiting, right, in these longer lines, right, and I'm noticing more again, you know, and I'm remembering how I used to be, right, you know, where before we had phones in our pockets all the time, we always had stuff going on, where I'm looking at things and I'm kind of noticing and putting time into thought, and I'm just thinking about things that, again, I wouldn't be if I was watching a cat meme on, you know, Instagram or on whatever, wherever cat memes are. And I thought it was super interesting. So the idea that, like, we're kind of forced to take longer to do things is, there's two ways to look at it, right? One is you can get all anxious and upset. The other way is to just take it as, okay, things are going to take longer, so I'm going to use this time that I now have to think about things, or to relax, or to breathe, or to examine things, or to look around and see what's around me, and kind of just spend the time, you know, in a productive manner, you know, mentally. And I think it's really interesting, and it's funny only because, you know, I'm thinking about it because I'm thinking about it. If that makes sense, right? It's like I wouldn't have even been thinking about it if I hadn't been in this position, right? I mean, I, of course, I guess because I mean, this has been going on for months. So why is this woman not understanding things take longer? I don't understand, but that's people, I guess. You know, I went out with the intention of, okay, normally this trip would take me 20 minutes. I know I'm going to be gone for a couple of hours. It's just the way it is. Things take longer. The stores don't have as much stuff. There's longer lines. So I just went out with that intention. I was like, well, you know, it's going to take what it's going to take. So I went when I had time that I could spend it to go do this thing. And I mean, I'm not saying that I'm smarter or better or whatever than these people. I'm just saying that, like, you know, you have to consider this is the case, right? If, I'll use a cooking thing, right? If you want to make a pot roast and it takes 4 hours, right? You can't expect that just because you're hungry, it's going to take an hour. It just won't. It takes 4 hours to make a good pot roast. So maybe 3.5, depending on your oven. So, I mean, that's just the way it is, right? If you want something that's going to take a long time for it to happen, then you have to know that it's going to take time. And you accept that. So, I mean, whatever. I kind of hope that people do kind of start to understand this and learn. I know that it's really affected me and how I operate. I'm giving myself more time to do things. I'm allowing myself to kind of, take these moments where I'm like, I'm in line, and I'm looking at this line. And normally a line of 6 people would take 5 minutes. Now it's going to take 20 minutes. And that's fine, There's plenty of stuff going on in my head, that can fill the time. So I think slowing down can be a really good thing. And I hope that even if you're not in a situation where you have to slow down because stuff's going on, that you take a minute to do it, because it's really, really interesting to just spend time just kind of in the moment, without constantly being hit with stuff from all directions. The idea of just sitting or standing or walking and just taking in what's around you is one of the things that really actually does inspire me as a photographer. Normally I'm doing those things when I'm like on the train or whatever in Manhattan, but I haven't been in Manhattan now for a bit, and I haven't been on the train a long time now. So that's just an area where I don't have it anymore. So now I find myself doing it in the big box hardware store. But I think it's really fun and super interesting to just look at things. And again, I've talked about this before. That is often how I help figure out how I want to light, pose, and frame up shots, as I look at life and I see what's around me and see what makes sense to me and what inspires me. So hopefully this has been helpful. Take it slow, right? If you would like to and you have not already, go ahead and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.